Johnny Fisher exposed. Today I'm going to discuss the mistakes that Johnny made against the Rhino, Dave Allen, and also one other key issue, so make sure to stick around. If you're new to the channel, my name's Lawrence Oswecki, a professional boxer and also former member of GB amateur boxing team. First of all, I want to give both guys credit. Boxing is brutal at times, as was seen with the finish, but after the fight, both guys give credit and acted with real integrity. I've known Dave since my GB days, a great guy, so I was hoping he would win, but I'm also a fan of Johnny, so the ending was bittersweet. But it's boxing, this is the sport, and we all want to see blood and guts and knockouts, especially at heavyweight. It's part of the territory. Johnny tried to fight on the back foot, and after the fight he said that was the tactics, but that's not his style, and it clearly didn't work. But he wasn't really doing it with any real confidence. He was moving too much, wasting energy, it just didn't look natural, and he was doing it with fear, and Dave could read him a mile off. From a game plan point of view, against a come-forward fighter, tactically, it does make sense. Go on the back foot, keep it long, behind a jab, till the pace slows down, till the Rhino tires himself out. But the problem was, Johnny wasn't doing anything to slow the Rhino down. When you go on the back foot with the intention of slowing your opponent down, you've got to make them work, and in the process, still inflict some damage. When you're on the back foot, you need to sting them with a jab, bust them up, be like a bull in Matador, make them miss and make them pay, make them question coming forward. Whereas Johnny wasn't doing anything to deter Dave and slow him down. And Dave's also more experienced over the longer distance, and the pace was right up Dave's street. And by the third round, Johnny was tired because he was fighting out of character, out of his style, and he was fighting with fear, which drains the battery, drains the tank. Johnny was also landing a lot of low blows below the belt. I don't know if it was part of the game plan, tactical, or was because of fatigue, just a mistake. But Dave, being the Rhino he is, he just took them. He's even hard down there. Wait there a second, that didn't sound right. Anyway, he started to return the favour. Dave could see that Johnny was tired and again used his experience, roughhouse tactics, leaning on Johnny to drain his battery further. And the ending was clinical, it was an execution. Let's take a look. He shouldn't have been sitting on the ropes. Oh, it was that uppercut that done the damage. That was the first knockdown, but I think it started with the overhand right, but it was the left uppercut that really done the damage. To be honest, he done really well to get up, because you could see he was really hurt. You could see it in his eyes. He was badly hurt. You can see his legs aren't there. Oh, that left hook. Whew. Respect to Dave Allen, because he didn't celebrate. He knew the damage he just inflicted. I must be sick in the head, but let's take one more look. Oh, Johnny Fisher was pretty much helpless. Wow. That was really precise punching from Dave. He picked his shots beautifully. The finishing punches, right and left to the body, brings the hands down, then left to the head. Devastating. He took his soul. Johnny was helpless, defenseless. He hadn't recovered. Really, maybe his corner should have thrown the towel in earlier. It's the corner man's job to know their man. People were questioning Dave's weight, worried because he came in heavy, and I was too slightly. But he doesn't box on his toes like Muhammad Ali or Tyson Fury. He's flat-footed, that's how he gets his power. In his defense, mainly comes from head movement, moving at the waist. In a post-fight interview, Dave was asked about his weight, and he said he didn't do much running for the camp, so it just goes to show running's important, but there's nothing that beats specific training, boxing. For any young fighters watching, or athletes, remember, your sport is the main thing, the main bulk of your training. Everything else is just a supplement. It's meant to improve, enhance what you do in your sport, not get in the way, so you've got to program it right. The thing about heavyweight boxing, the beauty, the advantage, you don't have to make weight, so you can still be training hard, but you don't have to watch everything you eat. All the rounds of sparring years ago between Dave and Johnny benefited both, but especially Dave, because I think he just had his number. And let's not forget the fact that Johnny only had 10 amateur fights, and this was his 14th professional fight. He's learning on the job, he's a novice. Actually, you've really got to give him credit for being able to compete at this level, because what he lacks in experience, he makes up for in heart, in his physical attributes. But unfortunately, despite the bravery, it was a step too far. I said it in my prediction video that last time that Johnny won the lottery and nobody wins the lottery twice. And I also said I didn't think there was enough time between the first fight and the rematch to make the physical adjustments, but more importantly, mentally. Because let's be honest, in the first fight he took a beating, and those scars take time to heal. They don't just disappear overnight, they take time. It takes time to rebuild that confidence. The question is, where does Johnny go from here? Can he mentally recover? Because that knockout was brutal. Some people just don't recover. People talk about AJ since getting stopped off Andy Ruiz not being the same, being gun shy. I think Dave Allen, the Rhino, basically exposed Johnny Fisher. And I say it respectfully because Dave Allen was just too experienced and it showed the limitations of Johnny and where he's at. I think he's going to need some real time away to rebuild his confidence, rest and recover, have some family time, and not even think about boxing. He's young. I'm not saying it's the end. I'm just saying it's going to take time to recover and rebuild. Maybe having a few fights on smaller shows, less attention, against decent journeymen so he can rebuild his confidence. If he jumps straight back in at this level and he's not ready, it could be detrimental. It's still so early in his career, he can't afford to lose like that again, so the steps he takes next are so important. I seen an emotional post-fight interview with Johnny in the dressing room, and even after such a destructive defeat, he still showed class.
And the bottom line is he is someone I looked up to when I was young. And if I was going to lose to a man, that's the man you want to lose to.
This is the reason why I'm a fan. Forgetting boxing, he's such a nice, genuine guy. And you can totally understand why he's got such a big fan base, because he's so likeable.
5 years ago, me and my dad, we had no money. We had nothing. That's what a real fighter is. What I do in there, that's nothing compared to what my dad done.
Johnny puts it in perspective there, saying it's nothing compared to what he's been through. So with a mindset like that, I do believe he's got the strength to come through it. This fight is a class example of good matchmaking, or should I say, bad matchmaking. Getting fighters the correct fights as they progress through the career is vital. I can't stress it enough. And yes, I do understand, we're in an era of 50-50 fights. It's important for fights to be competitive, but in Johnny's case, because of the lack of amateur experience, he needed more learning fights. I think because he's got such a big fan base, a big ticket seller, they pushed him too quick, because you know it's all about the money. I do feel like his team, his management, have failed him. And don't get me wrong, because when opportunities come, the final decision is with the fighter. But this is where it's so important to have a good team to correctly advise you. Fighters will fight anyone. It's in the nature. That's why you need a good team to save the fighter from themselves. I just hope in this case that Johnny made plenty of money to make it all worthwhile. I'm so happy for the Rhino, Dave Allen, the way he's turned his life around. It's like a real-life Rocky film. At British level, he's a problem. His power, his experience, his chin, and not forgetting his skill. I think a lot of people underestimate his skill. If he stays in the gym and stays disciplined, who knows how far he can go. In classic Dave, this made me laugh.
I'm the WBA Continental Champion. Not sure what that means, but still a bit of a buzz.
You've got to laugh. I don't know what it means, but it's a bit of a buzz. This is why it's so hard to pick sides between Johnny and Dave, because they're both so likeable, great guys. Dave's just a natural comedian.
Any local schools want to get me in for a speech? I'm your man. I'll bring the belt.
You've got to love it. Dave Allen and Johnny Fisher are two of the nicest guys in boxing. Another fight I'm looking forward to is two of my old Team GB mates face each other. Former undisputed light welterweight champion Josh Taylor, amazing achievement, and he faces Eko Esserman, the current European champion, and also former British and Commonwealth champion. Amazing. I may do another live stream. Let me know if you think I should. And also, let me know your thoughts on Johnny and Dave's future. Please let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.